Now, we sort of talked about the parent when it comes to adolescent to parent violence, that the target is mainly going to be mom. So out of your caseload, probably a huge majority of your cases will be violence towards mom and towards siblings. Now, mom doesn't necessarily mean the biological mother of the child, which we sort of talked about earlier, and it's important to keep in mind. It's really just the primary female caregiver. So it might be a foster parent who's the mom, foster mom. It could be stepmom. It could be auntie. It could be grandma. Really, it's the primary caregiver that all of these different theories we're going to talk about apply to. Now, in the adolescence to parent violence, it's important to understand the parent. Like we said, the main target is going to be mom. But it's also important to understand what we mean by violence. Everybody's going to have a different definition of violence. Some people mainly be physical violence. Other people will look at more a behavior pattern of different types of violence. So that is what we want to think about. And it's important that you think about that as well, because when you talk to families and you ask them, is there violence in the house? Everybody's going to go to their own definition, and that's really going to impact your ability to support that family. So once again, we're going to do another activity, much like the previous one, where we're going to pause the video and just list down some words for a couple minutes. So I'd like you to do is you're going to list down as many words that come to mind when you think of the word violence. Think about as many words that come to mind with violence. What would be part of violence? What does violence mean? All of those things. So pause the video now and list down as many words as you can. Okay, welcome back. And take a look at your words. Did it include mainly types of physical violence, kicking, punching, maybe using a weapon? Did it include threats? Is there threats and intimidation there? Is abuse towards siblings there? Is emotional abuse or psychological abuse there? Also, one of the things that we don't think about with young people is financial abuse there, destruction of property, or just the mere look, threatening look, intimidation. Is that there? So there are all these different forms of violence that create a pattern within the family where the young person is using those behaviors in an instrumental way as part of their belief system. So it's very important that you have a good idea of what you think violence is so that you and mom are on the same page, as well as you and other stakeholders. So it might be child safety or youth justice. It's very important that everybody has a unified definition of what they mean by violence so that we're all working towards the same ends. Now, the next couple of slides are going to look at what violence is, especially when we're looking at the pattern of violence in adolescent violence. So keep those in mind and start to think about how you and the team and where you work, how you define violence, and does that need to change?